Good morning, fellow Earthlings and star seeds, light workers, all of you out there. Um, so, I don't know about you, but the last couple weeks, there's been some amazing energies going on around the world, around our planet, all kinds of things happening. One of the reasons why I haven't done a video in a while is because I've really been focusing on this whole ascension thing and shifting things and my awareness and raising my vibrations and all that good stuff. So what I wanted to talk about today is some of the things that's going on right now, plus some of my experiences that I've had. Just gonna get real nice and cozy here. Alright, I had to hold this camera the whole time because I don't have like a stand or anything, but pardon my hair, it's wet because I just took a shower. A nice cold shower to help tingle my crown chakra, get things moving. Felt really good. Anyway, so one of the things that I wanted to talk about was basically my experiences with extraterrestrials. I haven't gone fully into depth with that because I have to be really careful. But I feel like we're at a point now where the ETs are starting to show themselves. They're being bolder now. Like I told you, if you go back to my video back in January that I posted about, I was explaining my awakening process. If you go back to that video, there were some other videos that I had uploaded that I deleted just because I was kind of nervous about, whole Big Brother thing, taking down my channel, and I didn't want that. So I deleted some of them because I was talking about things that they don't want you to know. So I apologize for the fan. That's actually my air conditioner. I don't know how it's sounding on this video, but I guess we'll find out. It does stop every once in a while because it's an energy saver. It's a window air conditioner, so anyways, it'll go on and off. But I hope you can all hear you. Oh my gosh. I hope you can all hear me. Okay. It's been one of those mornings where I don't know what it is. Like I'm klutzy today. I'm knocking things over. I'm bumping into things. I don't know. Maybe I need to do a grounding meditation. I don't know. But it's just one of those mornings where I'm just kind of like, I was doing a whole bunch of housework maybe, and then I'm just dropping things and running into things, and it's just one of those days where, things seem a little off kilter, but not too much to the point where, where everything's going bad. It's not one of those days. I haven't had a bad day in a long time because because ever since probably about 6 months ago, I made a life change, and I had my Kundalini awakening, which is another kind of awakening that happens after your first initial awakening. Your Kundalini awakening is basically, well, that's a whole other topic. If you want to Google it, you can do that. It's really interesting. It's why my diet has changed. It's why I can't eat meat anymore. I can't drink. I don't smoke. Like I just suddenly just didn't want any part of it. Like my whole it's like my body is just changing. It doesn't want anything negative. I can't even take Aleve. I can't take Advil. None of that works. I throw it up. Nothing works. So, except for my own way of transmuting negative and energy and ailments out of my body through meditation and grounding and using light visuals. And let's say probably about a week ago I had a migraine because there were some energy shifts that were going on, and I had this massive migraine when I woke up, and because there was this big shift in energy. And so what I did is I went outside, I put my feet on the ground, I visualized this white light coming down through me, I visualized my feet growing roots into the ground, and I transmuted that energy down and pushed that negative energy through my body down into the ground. Within an hour, I was fine from a migraine with no Aleve, no ibuprofen, nothing. It works. But it also depends on where your vibrations are at. I'm actually learning to do Reiki. It's something I've recently tapped into. I've only been doing it on myself. I have not done it on others yet, just because I'm not fully, not that I'm not confident, I just don't want to do it wrong. I want to do it the right way. So I'm learning. Alright, so back onto track. Onto track of what I was originally going to talk about. Basically, what I want to talk about is I posted a couple of videos in my Facebook group about some amazing videos of stuff that's going on in the skies right now. People are capturing all kinds of UFOs in broad daylight. UFOs in broad daylight. I mean, I've seen so many videos. It's actually really freaking cool. They're getting bolder, and they're saying, you know what, enough is enough. The whole thing is, they have warned us. They have told our governments that we need to be aware of their existence. And they said, if you do not tell humanity about our existence, we will have to take our own measures. Oh, my glasses are... I'm going to take this off because my glasses are reflecting my phone. It makes me look like I have green eyes, and I don't like that. So anyways, they're saying that they had said, mankind needs to know that we're here, because we are here to assist mankind. We are not here... Well, there are some that are not here to assist mankind. Some of them have other agendas that are working with our government currently, actually. That's a whole nother story, which I have briefly talked about before. But today I want to talk about I'm seeing more and more from mainstream media, more negativity towards aliens, more negative storylines. And if you look on Prime TV, look how many bad alien movies they have recently put out about alien abductions that are evil, about invasions that are evil, that ruin mankind. They're trying to install fear into the public that is not awake, into the public that is still asleep. They are trying to install fear. So what happens when... Okay, so because the fact that they have been told that the ETs have told them that we will show ourselves if we have to, because you are not being honest with the people. You are not being truthful. So, and you are doing bad things. and this has to stop. And they're not stopping because they know they have control right now. They know that they're trying to win, okay? The reptilians and those that are working with them and their governments, they they're trying to win, okay? And the good guys, some of the good ETs are saying, listen, this has got to stop. And one of the main reasons why us star seeds, us light workers are here, is so that we can raise this vibration to stop us from going into a negative timeline. I'll go into that in a minute. So watch out for mainstream media to put a spin on these ships, saying that they're dangerous, saying that our visitors are, we should be careful, we need to be wary of extraterrestrials, or they could be demons and all this stuff. There's that theory. A lot of Christians think aliens are demons, which they are not. Demons are a whole nother species. So really, we need to really be careful about what we pay attention to, what we let ourselves believe. We need to judge from the heart. We need to judge with our own instincts. When we come from a place of fear, other energies will match that fear. If you are residing in fear, when something happens around you, your fear can manipulate that situation. Your own vibrations and your own fear can change your perspective on the whole experience. Alright, so I'm going to go back in some of my own experiences that I've had with extraterrestrials. And actually, this can go back as far as when I was young. Yep, I'm gonna go back as far as I was 3 or 4 years old. I had imaginary friends because I didn't have any brothers and sisters, but they weren't imaginary. They were really there. I remember them. There were 2 of them. There was Zoe and Zara. Those are not human. Well, Zoe can be a human name. It's recently come into culture. But back then, in the 70s, I don't know how popular Zoe was in the 70s. Also, Zara, like, what? Those are not earthly names. I'm sorry. Those are not common names. And I remember one of them had bluish skin. I wasn't afraid of her at all. Like, Zara had bluish skin, and she was a little girl. She was really cute. Zoe was, I don't know. I could never tell if Zoe was male or female because maybe she was gender neutral. I don't know, but she had short hair, almost like pixie-like hair, but she looked mostly human. But she had bigger eyes. And these were my playmates, and they were real to me. They were there. I saw them with my third eye without really even knowing all about that. Because as a child, I also saw other things. I saw gnomes, I saw elves, and pixies. I saw them, and my dad was very good at landscaping, and he had flowers all around our house and gardening. He was very much into that. So we had a flourish of stuff, of flowers and plants around our house, in our yard. And so I would see these beings, and I would say to Mom, "Oh, Mom, I saw, there was a gnome over there. I saw him." And I mean, granted, I'm like 3 or 4 years old. And I remember, this isn't exactly about ET, but this just tells you how far back. I've been this way my whole life. I just didn't understand why I always felt so different from everybody else. Okay, so anyway, Zoe and Zara, those were their names. I believe now that they were extraterrestrials. They were probably part of my soul family. They were here to assist me. Um, so, to help guide me through this time where I had been adopted and, I was in a new family, in a new home. Um, you know, I don't remember. I had a good childhood. I had a really great family, very loving family, loving home, and anyway, so it wasn't until how old was I? I think I was my first time I saw a UFO. I was 18 years old. I was working at a custard drive-in place, and I was driving home. It was probably 12:30 in the morning, middle of the night, and I was driving on a country road, so there wasn't a whole lot of lights, and there was this ball of light that would get brighter and then dim, and it would move around the sky like this, like it was just. I knew it wasn't a bug or a lightning bug because it was this bright white light, and it was a single bright light, and I was like, and sometimes it would blink, sometimes it would dim, brighter, dim, and then I was like, okay, what is that? So I watched it in the sky while I'm trying to drive, and I'm like, it came down closer while I was doing all this, and then all of a sudden, boom, it was gone. I was like, what? That was not an airplane. Airplanes don't move like that. So, not even a helicopter. So I was like, that's got to be a UFO. That had to have been a UFO. This was in the 90s. Okay. Probably 1995, 96, somewhere around there. All right, my next experience was, my hair is just kind of blah. My next experience was, we had moved out to the country. My dad's dream was to have a llama farm. So we had about 17 llamas at one point. So he spent his retirement money on a llama farm. We had about 10 acres. Our house was up on a hill, and our driveway was about a quarter of a mile long, so we were quite a distance from the main road. And the closest neighbor was also probably about a quarter of a mile away. There was no neighbor to the left of us, but to the right of us there was a neighbor, but it was, a little bit down the road. So there was like nothing. It was pretty dark at night. And I remember, and my bedroom was upstairs, and I had big windows. No curtains because we were far back enough from the road, and I didn't see any point to have any curtains. I loved the view because we had a really beautiful view of the landscape in front of our house, so I didn't want to block it with curtains. So anyway, one night I slept really heavily for a good while, and before I went to bed, I had been sorting through this. I was probably like 20, 21 when this happened. I was still living at home. I was sorting through my high school papers, like which ones should I get rid of, which one should I keep, because I don't like keeping things too long. It just creates too much junk that I don't need. So I was sorting through papers, and I had a tin garbage can in the middle of the room, and I had papers all around it because I was sorting stuff that day. Sorry for the camera. In the middle of the night, I woke up. felt really groggy. Something awoke me. I don't know what it was. But I kind of, as I'm turning over in my sleep, okay, one, I see a bright light coming from my bedroom window. It is in the middle of the night, okay? There was this bright light shining into through my bedroom window. And I thought that I didn't think much of it because I'm kind of groggy and like, And then I sat up. My room is dark mostly, and then I hear a ping on my tin garbage can. There was a ping sound, like something hit it, and I was like, what was that? I sat there for a minute trying to recollect myself. I'm like, what was that? And then I see, as soon as that ping happened, then I realized then the light moved away from my window, like something had moved. And there's no street light. We're a quarter mile away from the road, and I'm on the second floor on a hill. So I thought, what the, I'm really groggy, and I was kind of like, what the heck just happened? Like, what was that? And as time went on, I thought maybe it was an angel, but now that I think about it, angels don't manifest themselves as physical, okay? They are a totally different high vibration that they don't manifest in 3D or even 4D, So as far as being physical and hitting my garbage can, that was not an angel. I believe that was extraterrestrial. All right. Going forward into the future, about maybe another 15 years. Oh, maybe 20 years. No. Yeah, probably about 15 years from that point. I had my awakening in 2009. The whole ET thing was kind of like it was starting to become a recurring thing in my life. Like, there were signs pointing to it. I had things happen to me. I was seeing UFOs, and I thought, okay, I didn't really think anything of it, and I thought a part of it scared me, okay, because I was raised up in a Christian home and believed that aliens could probably be bad, And when I went on a trip out to I don't know why I said Saint. James Gilliland's UFO Ranch in Washington, out by Mount Adams. I went there with some people, and we had this amazing experience out there. But it was also very strange to me because I wasn't very familiar with the whole ET thing. I didn't know a whole lot about things at that time. And but when I was there was this euphoric feeling that just came over me. I felt like, I don't know, it was like, I think I was starting to connect with my galactic ancestors while I was there. I was hearing singing, and I'm clairaudient, okay, so I can hear things telepathically. I was starting to hear singing and voices in my head saying welcome, and they were saying that it was nice to see me again, blah blah blah, and I'm like, this about? So we saw UFOs at that ranch near the mountain. They're there almost every night. On a visible night, you can see the UFOs above the mountain or in the sky. So one of the days while we were there for like 2 or 3 days, and one of the days James Gilliland did a presentation to us talking about their contacts with ETs, and I was like, okay, what's this about? And he was going into, all the different ET races and how they've had contact and what's going on there at the ranch, and how they're talking about this 5D Earth and all this, and I'm like, okay, this is a little. At the time, I wanted to think it was a little cuckoo, and I just was like, this is really strange to me, but I'm just gonna go with it. So, James Gilliland is a very kind person. He doesn't judge you, even though you may be skeptical. He's still very, he's understanding, and he was there to answer any questions that we had, even if they seemed silly or, if we were kind of critical. He didn't mind at all. But anyway, one night we went out to the field. He's got a big field there where we go out and star watch, and I captured all these orbs on my camera, hundreds of orbs, and being as a medium, I did feel that we were being visited. Okay, while we were seeing these spaceships, okay, these UFOs, in some of these orbs that I took, you can see faces inside of these orbs. And James had said, yeah, these are your ancestors. Some of them are us from the future coming back here to assist in this process. I could not wrap my head around that at the time. But anyway, so the last day that we were there, my friend and I decided to walk down the driveway of the ranch down to where they have the sign of the ranch, saying James Gilliland UFO Ranch. And we wanted to take a picture of us in front of the sign. So we walked down the driveway, and with our naked eye, not with a camera, with our own eyes, the driveway's covered with trees, okay, and we could see this purple light shining down through the trees. I'm like, since when does the sun give off purple light? I asked my friend, do you see that? And she was like, oh my God, I totally do. I said, okay, so it's not just me. She said, no. I said, do you think we should walk through it? And she said, I don't know, but I don't feel anything bad with it. I said, either do I. I think it might be good for us. So we decided to walk through this light that was shining down, purple light, violet ray, like a violet ray, okay? And we walk through it. We get down to the end of the driveway, and by the time we got to the end of the driveway, my camera battery, because I wasn't using my phone as a camera at the time, my camera battery just died. It completely died. I was like, oh, dang it. So we had to use her battery, but then her battery was about to die too. So we were like, oh, so whatever energy we walked through, it just was like it was pretty strong energy. And so then I remember the pictures that we took with her phone. I don't have them now. She has them. We took turns, each of us in front of the sign, and we both had this purple lines in front of us, in front of our bodies. And we were like, what is that? So we showed James Gilliland, we showed him, and we told him about the experience, and he said, oh, they're blessing you. The ETs are giving you a blessing. And they are shining down upon you and they're giving you some positive energy, making a connection with you. I was like, okay, so ETs, extraterrestrials, are blessing me. So I thought that was really strange because I'm like, all my life I've been told that ETs they may not be good, they may be bad, well, or something to fear, because we tend to fear the things that we don't understand. We tend to fear that which we haven't really experienced, So I'm gonna go over here towards the light. Anyway, so that was a pretty cool experience. And then fast forward probably about another 3 or 4 years after that experience at the ranch. At this point, I had been meditating more. I had been having past life regressions and learning how to do that on my own. And I had been in contact with my spirit guide, who I found out later. She is my soul mother. She's extraterrestrial, and she is Arcturian of the Arcturian race. Okay. Now she also has had different lives. We started out as Lyrian or Lyran, whatever you want to, Lyrian. So then we went from Lyra to the Pleiades to Orion to Mars and then to Earth. Oh, and Syrian. Yeah. My soul family has had a long journey. So, okay. Millions and millions of years old. That's how old I am. My soul, anyway. So, anyway, through meditations and finding out who she truly is, I asked her, I said, so you are extraterrestrial? I said, but you appear to me as human before. She's like, that's not, that was so that you would not be afraid. And I said, okay, that makes sense. So I can make a connection. All right. So, and I said, well, at this time I had been wondering, I think I was about 38 or 39 years old. I think I was 30, maybe 38 when I had this experience I'm about to tell you about. And I was asking her why I haven't been able to have children, because I've had partners where I could have gotten pregnant. I have had maybe 1 or 2 miscarriages, but I just I really have not. I'm like, how have I not gotten pregnant? Because I've had several boyfriends where things could have happened, but they never did. And so I had always wanted to be a mother, and I was feeling hurt and angry and like, why can't I be a mother? Why do I feel like I'm never going to be a mother in this life? Why? And why? Is it some kind of karmic thing? What did I do to deserve to not have this experience? And she said, it's not about that. I can show you why. And I was like, what do you mean you can show me why? I need to know why, because I need to be able to get past this. I need to be at peace with if it's going to happen for me or not. I need to know why. And she explained to me, I can show you why, but I need to be sure that you are ready. I said, ready for what? And she said, I need to show you some things. I can show you some things. And I said, okay, are you going to take me somewhere? Well, in astral, because a lot of times I would meet with her in astral, okay, in the astral realm. And she said, well, I can take you physically or I can take you in astral. Whichever one you feel most comfortable in. And I thought about this for a minute and I thought, wait a minute, take me. I said, so now that I know that you're an extraterrestrial, you're going to take me on where? On a ship or where? And she said, yes, to our ship. And I said, okay. Let me think about this for a minute. I felt more comfortable going there in astral. And I said, how does this work? If I'm there in astral, how do you know that I'm really there? She's like, oh, we can see your astral body. And I said, alrighty then. So she when I was in astral form, she took me aboard basically their mothership. And I don't know if at the time I didn't know what race of alien that she was. Like, I was like, I really hope you aren't Greys, because I never really felt a good vibe with the Greys. And the Greys are taking people, and they are seeding people, and they are hybriding people, or hybriding. They have hybrids, but they're not the only race. There are other races that are doing this as well. But their methods are different of the hybridization programs that they're doing. All right, hang on. So she took me aboard their ship in astral, and when I was in astral, anyway. And when I got there, I wanted to take note of everything that I saw. I was not scared at all. For some reason, I had this peace. I knew that I was going to be okay, because I have been in contact with her for quite a few years at this point, so I trusted her. Okay. So their ship, it was very white. There was a lot of white walls. Everything is clean. Like, it's very sterile, clean environment. They talk. I said, well, how are you able to communicate with me when I'm here in astral? They're like, oh, because we talk telepathically most of the time. When they do talk, they talk with light language, which is light language is a language out of it's more of an emotional. They speak with emotion. It's not, and a lot of times they're not actual words. I can speak light language now. I've recently found out that my light language is Arcturian. That's the one I'm resonating with the most. I'm sure I could speak some other ones if I could tap into it and remember, but that's the one I'm closest to. And it could be that the Arcturians have the closer connection with me right now, because my soul family is mostly in the Arcturian incarnation right now. So as we go through this ascension process. All right, so I'm walking around their ship. It's her, and there were two other ones there with me. They were kind of, I don't know. I said, are these like guards? She said, in a sense, you could call them guards, but they are here to help you get back to your body in case something would happen. I was like, okay. So she said, I want you to meet your children. And I said, my children? She said, yes. she's she said they're very to the point. Okay, they don't beat around the bush when they answer you or talk to you. Very to the point. And I walked into an area of the ship where it's almost like it was a school. There were children that were learning. They were on tablets. They were learning things. There were children that were playing with puzzles and stuff like that, doing like they're just acting like normal children almost, you know. And there were some that were reading. A lot of them did have tablets, kind of like we do with the iPad. You know, it was very much like that. And there was a girl. That was or no, she was a lady. She says we have been waiting for you to come. I told them that you were arriving. So she told me that at the time, this was when I was like 37 years old or so. So I actually may have more children by, I don't know, hybrids, whatever. But she said you have 12 so far, 12 hybrid children. There are several here in this room. And I met one girl, she looked about 13. And she had blonde hair. Their eyes looked mostly human, but their eyes were a little bit bigger, maybe set a little farther apart. And their skin was very, very white, almost pearl-like. And you could see their veins through the skin. Very white. I did not see any. Maybe some had hints of blue undertones or peach undertones. It depended. Some of them had hair. Some of them didn't. A lot of them do have hair just like we do. You know, different colors. Mainly blue, red. Not blue, I meant blonde. Blonde, red hair, some brown hair. So yeah, and then there was a baby that she had me meet. It was my son, and I wanted to hold him, but she wouldn't let me. She said we have to be careful. We have to protect their energy. We don't want to mix until you've come to a certain point where your vibrations are higher. Then maybe we can let you, hold them or interact with them a little bit more. So I talked to the 13-year-old girl, or she looked about 13, and I asked her some questions. And I said, "Oh, what do you guys learn here?" She says, "Oh, we learn languages, art, math." I said, "How many languages do you know?" She says, "Oh, I know about 50 different languages, including the ones that you have on Earth." And I was like, "Oh, wow. So you can talk all 50 languages." She said, "Yes, I can. Pretty much." Mostly. But she seemed distracted by her tablet like any 13-year-old. And but I mean, it was just an amazing experience. I'm trying to think what else did I remember. I said, "Well, what do you do for fun?" And she says, "Oh, I like taking care of the animals." I said, "You have animals?" She said, "Yeah, we do some breeding here on the ship. And we help, our goal is to help those animals that are going extinct on your planet, and we bring them back." I was like, wow, okay, that's amazing. And they play like regular children. So then I asked I asked my soul mother. She's my soul mother because my soul seeded from her soul, if that makes, because we have soul families where we seeded from each other and split off. Okay, so that's why I call her my soul mother. Okay, so I asked her. I said, "Well, when did you start?" I said, "Did it?" I said, "Well, did I agree to this whole you taking my eggs?" She said, "We left a few of your eggs." But yes, this was in a contract before you incarnated here because you knew that this lifetime would not be suited for you to have children because of what the planet is about to experience. And you wanted to help with this program because these hybrid children are going to be the ones that will be here after we have transitioned to 5D. They will be brought here to help hold the 5D vibration. Pretty amazing, huh? So, these hybrid children do serve a purpose. It is not an evil intention. It is to help this planet. So I was like, well, why me? You know, why? She said, because you have chosen this lifetime. Everything was pre-planned. Everything. The body you incarnated in was pre-planned. I was like, wow, okay. And I said, well, when did this start? When did you start taking my eggs? And she said, we did it. There were 2 times that I was taken. I said, okay, was it that night that, I heard my garbage can ping and I saw a light by my window? She said, yes, that was one of the times. The other time was when I was 13 after I had, gotten my first period. And I was like, wow, okay, well, I don't remember anything strange happening around that time that I can recollect. And she said, no, we made sure that you were pretty induced. The second time that we did it, we wanted to be sure that we wanted you to have a little bit of experience because we were trying to help you wake up with your awakening and realizing who you are. So we were trying to leave little hints and, trying to show ourselves to you a little bit. So anyway, they didn't want to install fear, okay, because that might have pushed me away from, my mission, my contract, and everything. So, since this, I have not been on the ship. I've not gone to see my hybrid children, although now that I am resonating in a higher vibration and I do feel a little bit more comfortable, I would actually invite the experience. I would love, maybe even go in my physical body if it's possible. But I've actually thought about asking them to show me. And again, I'd love to go back. I'd love to see, what they're doing and because this is an amazing time we're going in right now. And you need to shut off the mainstream media. You need to stop watching any programs or shows, movies that have to do with evil agendas, because that's just going to keep you in a low vibration. It's going to keep you in a fear-driven state, because when we are in that fear-driven state, then we attract an experience that is negative, which I have experienced. I have experience in both dualities. I have experience with demonic entities. where I've actually had conversations with a demon. I've actually had to face a demon. I've seen a demon with my naked eye. It was once I realized my sovereignty and that they can't harm me, when I stood in my own light, that's when I realized that, okay, once we seek to understand that which we don't know, the fear starts to fade away. I wanted to stop fearing the things I didn't understand. So I asked questions. I didn't run from the thing that was there causing fear. And the fear was actually my own projection of what I was seeing. Now, are demons bad? They can be. But we fear them because we don't quite understand what they're trying to do. We've been told, for centuries through the Bible that, yes, you should, by all means, you should not, okay, I'm not trying to say that we should be communicating with demons. No, you should not. Especially if you are a light warrior, a light worker, a starseed. Any pure soul should not be communicating with demons in a way that is like, if you start letting them influence you and doing bad things, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about, you are seeking to understand their nature. You are seeking to understand their purpose. Okay? That's a whole different thing. Duality has a purpose. Duality helps us learn. Duality helps us remember things. It also helps us become stronger. Resistance is sometimes okay, but sometimes it's not okay. The best way to defeat your enemy is to know your enemy. Am I right? Now, not saying that everything that has a lower vibration is your enemy. Okay, they are there to work against you, to bring you to a certain level of awareness. That's why they're here. They help us do our shadow work. They help us bring out karma. They help us purge, karmic attachments that we have from past lifetimes and this lifetime. Everybody has their own agenda. Everybody has their own purpose of why they do what they do. That's what free will is. We all have free will. ETs have free will. Demons have free will. People of Earth have free will. Even the creatures and the animals, those that exist in 4D, I'm talking about the elves, the gnomes, the people of the inner earth. There are such things. But what you will see them if you are ready to accept them. They are not going to show yourself to you if you are not going to accept their existence. Why would they? Children tend to see things because they have a pure heart. They have a pureness about, they don't judge what they see. That's the thing, that's the beauty about children. They don't judge. They don't judge what they're experiencing. They just experience. But then they are conditioned to start judging their experience because we teach them that. A lot of the children that have been born in the last decade or two are rainbow children, crystal children, star seeds, light warriors. The indigos was the indigos the first wave or the second wave? I can't remember. Those that were born in the 60s and 70s. We are the indigos, which means you have an indigo colored aura. Some indigos, like myself, have an indigo aura, soul aura. Your energy aura, that's totally different. But your soul has an aura, which defines where your ascension process is on a soul level. Okay. Also here on Earth. Indigos, some of them, you will know, you can meet an indigo without a crystal aura. The indigos with a crystal aura, those are the light workers. Like myself, we are the light workers. Warriors, light warriors. So, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to explain. For now, anyway. I'm really putting myself out there. You know, like, I have hybrid children. I've seen them, or a few of them. It's why I've never had children. I know I am from here, but I'm also not from here. I've had many incarnations here on Earth. There's so many that I can't even recollect them all. Like, I'll get bits and pieces of memories, but then I don't know, I can't get the full story. Like, it's so weird. Then there's some lifetimes where I know the whole story, or, you know, the gist of it. There are some lifetimes that are really crystal clear. There are bits and pieces I have memories of on other planets. You know. And the way you know how it's a memory and not when you're meditating and doing a past life regression, you remember how you felt. You remember how you felt. You remember the smells. You remember the taste. You remember let's say you're having a past life memory and there's people around you that are like maybe past, that were your family, you know, children or a husband or wife, and yes, you can be another sex in a past lifetime, which I have been male in a past lifetime. All this stuff comes back to memory. You remember what it was like to be there. If you can get details of this experience, you know that it's a past life memory, not just some daydream or something you made up. Because if it was just a dream, you wouldn't be able to remember, such minute detail. So, more and more extraterrestrial stuff is going to start happening. And I wanted those of you, because I'm posting this to my Facebook group. Some of you are friends and family and dear to my heart. And I am saying this out of the goodness of my heart. Do not be afraid. Okay? Because when you are holding in that state of fear, then that's when things start to fall apart, you know? And we need to hold a vibration of confidence, love, togetherness, peace. We need to hold that in our heart and expand it. The main thing that's something that's going to happen soon when this shift happens. Now, I think this shifting to 5D, it is going to be a state of awareness. It is not going to be an actual place. You're still going to be here on Earth, but your reality is going to change. If you shift, you're going to be in 5D. You're not going to be in 3D. And the reason we don't want to be in 4D is because 4D is where the elementals are, demons are in 4D, the reptilians are in 4D. We want to skip 4D. We want to go to 5D. Okay? So they know that this shift is going to happen. And when it happens, they are going to say it was an alien invasion. They are going to say that all these souls that are suddenly gone and not in the 3D reality have been kidnapped by aliens or killed by aliens. When actually that's just not going to be the truth. They're going to stall fear yet again, just like they did with the virus. So get ready. If you do not shift to 5D, do not panic. You will have your chance. It is not the end, okay? I believe that it's going to happen in waves when people are ready. There will be the first shift will be a mass shift. Then there will be more to come that will because a lot of us are starting to feel like, okay, we're running out of time. Time is speeding up. We're running out of time. It feels like we're running out of time. It just feels that way, okay? But time is irrelevant at the same time, okay? So this is why they're putting out all these negative alien movies and stuff, and why the disclosure that we had in June was complete bullshit. Like, they're just going around in circles, and you know why? Because they're waiting for this big shift to happen so that they can say, oh, it was an alien invasion. And then they can do their own little manipulation. This is bullshit. I'm sorry, but whatever mainstream media is spewing, it's bullshit. But it's okay. We know what's going on. I hope that you do too. I hope that you figure it out. I hope that you will come from a place of non-judgmentalness, and you will come from a place of understanding and seeing that there are so many different realities taking place right now. There's different timelines that are taking place right now. Possible timelines. Oh, that brings me back to what I was going to say earlier. As far as for timelines. As for the gray aliens that have been taking people. They say they're taking them out of their will, outside, out of their own free will. which is actually not true. Um, Many souls have made agreements before coming here with the Greys for this experience, because if you have noticed, there is an AI, artificial intelligence agenda starting to happen on this planet as we speak. They're moving the human population into AI, artificial intelligence, nanotechnology, 5G, robots that look like humans and act like humans that are emotionless. The nanotechnology that they are injecting you with, either through chemtrails, GMO food, the whatever shots you get, for the last 20 years they have been doing this to humanity without your knowledge, lying to the public. Why do you think Mr. G, I'm not going to say his name, the big Mr. G has bought all this farmland? Why do you think this is? A computer guy bought farmland and he has invested into the... Why do you think that is? It's not to help humanity. It's to control humanity through nanotechnology. Now, as for the Greys have been projected and experienced by people to have no emotions. They don't know how to connect with people on an empathic level. And there are many people who have had experience with Greys, the Grey aliens, who actually, I am talking to several people who actually have up and close encounters with these aliens and these ETs. And they have been told that, once they have gotten past the fear of the whole experience, they have been told by these ETs that the Greys are actually us, humans, in the future, on a negative timeline, coming back to try and save humanity. This is why they are coming and doing hybrid programs. This is why they are seeding people with they're trying to make a superhuman, but without to avoid the whole AI. We're trying to break away from that possible future, basically. We're rewriting timelines. They are us coming back from the future. They are humans. They were human. They once were human, coming back from the future to change it. I know, spin your head around that. It's crazy. It seems crazy, right? But actually, it makes a lot of sense, because everything that's rolling out right now in our 3D reality is heading towards that negative timeline. Robotic, emotionless, no empathy type of future. So, fear is their number one goal, because when you are afraid, they have you under control. Do not give them that power. So whatever you experience in the next, I'm going to put it in the next 3 or 4 months, really gauge yourself. Really figure out where you want to reside at. Figure out what kind of future do you want for you and your children, your grandchildren. Where do you want Earth to be? Do you want it to be a loving, happy, peaceful place? No more pain, no more killing. That's what I want. So I'm going to reside in that. I'm going to reside in peace and love, and I'm not going to let, fear take control of my life, no matter what happens. And the more you exist in this vibrational state of being, the less negative things are going to happen to you. So, peace, namaste, I love you all, and I wish you all the best, and I hope that you choose the right path. Love you.